feeling like I'm academics. Can't ride no wave.
Couple updates on the Diddy trial, chat. And I know we've been talking about Diddy a lot this month. Diddy's team is starting to hit back. I've read the playbook. I've seen the script. Allegedly. And they're taking aim at a lot of people who they believe are bad actors who are just trying to be ambulance chasers. First and foremost, there's a new lawsuit filed against them. And in this new lawsuit, and I'm going to try to make this quick. We're not going to be doing too much or like just sticking on this one topic like we do for a while. Hold on. Where is that at? Okay. There's a new lawsuit that's came out that essentially has blamed Diddy for R-wording another woman who goes by the name Ashley Parham, and she's claiming that Diddy sexually assaulted her in a gangbang style R-word after she dissed him on a FaceTime call. Now the lawsuit says that, you know, she met Diddy at a bar in February 2018, and actually met a friend of Diddy at a bar in 2018. He called Diddy on FaceTime, but she said she wasn't impressed with Diddy and told Diddy to his face that she thought Diddy played a part in Pac's death. She says Diddy told her that she would pay for her comment about accusing him of saying he was a part of Pac's death and also just not fucking with him. She said a month later, Diddy's same friend set her up to be R-worded by Diddy. Now, again, we always got to say these are allegations and this is a civil suit. You know, this is not including the criminal trial at the moment. But like, you know, I try to use the logic test a little bit too. So you're telling me that you meet a friend of Diddy, y'all clearly are cool enough to be at a bar drinking, and that friend calls Diddy, and you say to Diddy, yo, I think you killed Pac. And Diddy says to you, yo, I'm gonna make you pay for this motherfucking comment of you saying that I killed Pac. And then somehow you meet up with Diddy afterwards. Now I know she's saying set up, but it's like, shit, if I heard that coming from Diddy, I'd be like, that's the last person I want to be around. Anyway, she's saying that same friend set her up for Diddy to R-word her. Now, she's saying that the man she met at the bar invited her over to his Orinda, California home, and when she was there, Diddy just showed up. And told her she thought she would never see him in person. She says Diddy held a knife to the side of her face and told her he would give her a Glasgow smile. What the fuck is that? What's a Glasgow smile? Okay, I want to see some crazy shit. I think that's some Joker shit. Like, you know, the Joker, basically like a cut here. In retaliation for Tupac comments, she claims that Diddy's top consultant, Christina Coram, was there too. And KK told Diddy not to cut her face because they could sell her to potential clients for sex. This is my problem with the newer suits. They all just read like a script. Like, we're hearing things, not saying that Diddy could have never done these things, but they're almost leveraging some of these. They're leveraging some of the known facts, or not known facts, these known allegations, and they're just throwing it in there. Put it like this. Diddy's charged with sex trafficking, but even in the federal indictment, it's never actually said that Diddy has told people he's going to sell them. They just say he's just bringing women around and fucking them. He's never said like, oh, I'm selling. However, this lawsuit is referencing that he told her, I'm going to sell you, or the assistant was like, no, don't cut her face because we could sell her to potential clients. Once I see like this type of shit, I'm like, I think that this one's BS. Anyway, Parham claims that Christina Coram threatened to ship her off to anywhere in the world. Okay. Never to see her family again. By the way, this is Diddy's assistant. In the documents, she claims that Diddy took off her clothes, removed the knife from her face, and then got a bottle of liquid from a large fanny pack and covered her body in a liquid substance. Bro, like, come on, bro. Now we're hearing all these fucking baby oil stories. Diddy says, oh, we could sell her for sex. And then the chick is like, just grab the baby oil. Like, come on, bro. Like, criminals just don't move like this. Like, this just seems so... It seems like you've listened to all the allegations against Diddy and you have a story, or you made up a story that just details and mixes everything into one. Oh, he's charged with sex trafficking? Oh, yeah, he told me that he's going to sell me for sex. Oh, they found $1,000 of baby oil? Oh, he had a fanny pack with the baby oil. He took off her clothes, removed the knife from her face, and got a bottle of liquid from a large fanny pack, covered her body in a liquid substance. She says Diddy, so the alleged victim said Diddy and Christina Coram tried to insert something into her vagina that they referred to as a IUD, but it malfunctioned. And Diddy then picked up a TV remote and violently inserted it into her vagina, using the remote to violently R-word her. Parham claims Diddy told her that her life was in his hands and he could take her and she would never be seen again. Then later he violently R-worded her anally and instructed two men to do the same, which she says they did. She claims another man with Diddy R-worded her vaginally. After the gangbang style R-word, she claims Diddy and her buddies left her limp body inside the home as they went to the backyard to smoke weed and cigarettes. She says when she finally regained her bodily function, she grabbed a knife and an oversized t-shirt and tried to leave, but had to get past Diddy to reach the exit. She says she confronted Diddy, who says was surprised to see her walking because he had given her enough drugs to take out a horse. She claims Diddy told her he hadn't had any ass that tight in a while and offered her money and told her to say everything was consensual. She refused and threatened to go to the cops, with Diddy telling her no one would believe her, and if she told anyone, he would harm her family. She says one of his associates showed her a phone that appeared to be a live streaming video from outside her sister's home. Bro, come on, bro. Yeah, this is like some Joker shit. We already have surveillance outside your sister's home. No one will believe you and we will kill you. Like, come on, bro. In the lawsuit, Parham claims that Diddy's even called his mom in an effort to convince her not to report the R word. Chat, you can see how every figure who's been in the news recently is coming into it. Oh, Diddy calls his mom, who just wrote a letter saying, I know my son may have done some stuff wrong, but he's not a monster. Now we get direct victim, complaints saying, oh, no, he called his mom saying, hey, mom, this girl just got R-worded. Could you just tell her not to report me? Like, what? Okay. And she says Diddy mom yelled at her to not hurt her son and brushed off her claims that Diddy R-worded her. She claims that Diddy told her he'd gotten away with bigger crimes and referred again to Tupac. All of these, you just see allegation that we could pull from. We know the exact source. You ever read a Wikipedia page and then they put the citation and you know where that came from? Like, this right here comes from the Lil Rod stuff. Like, Lil Rod is the one who said that Diddy was walking around saying, man, I got niggas killed out here. And basically said he also admitted to, yo, nigga, I shot niggas in New York City club. You get what I mean? So this is from the Lil Rod lawsuit. The AUSA saying that they found baby oil. The whole fanny pack thing comes from that. The knife from the face, like, we haven't heard Diddy like forcibly supposedly take the box, but we're seeing more allegations of those. Actually all of them started, not, I wouldn't say started, but all of them are included in Tony Busby's 6 lawsuits that got filed against Diddy. Whatever. All right. Let me see. She says she then chased Diddy with the knife. Wait, what? Diddy told her he got away with bigger crimes, referred to Tupac. She says the Tupac comment pissed off one of the men who was with Diddy, who drew a gun and later fired a shot that sent Diddy running. She says she chased after Diddy with the knife, caught up to him and was about to stab him when he started pleading for his life. She says she had a moment of clarity and ran for the exit, but Diddy chased her down and wielded the blade at him, grazing his... All right, hold on, chat. I know I said I was going to take too long on this, but this is crazy, chat. Like, this is wild. What the fuck? Hold on. You're telling me a shot got fired? Hold on 1 second, chat. I just got to see what the fuck is going on. Give me 1 second. Was this in New York? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 damn second, man. Okay. She filed it in U.S. court. Okay, so I can find her here. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up. Yeah, I wasn't even going to pull this up, but this just seems kind of fucking crazy. All right. Go from here. All right, give me 1 second. It's about to load. This shit just reads like a novel. Like, what the fuck? People firing the shots. People getting chased with a knife. And this is the very first time we ever heard this. What circuit is that? My bad. I'm trying to log into this federal website. I thought this was going to be some simple shit. This shit read like a movie. Okay, I got it. Thank you. All right. Here's a complaint. No, it's not a complaint. Where's the complaint at? Is it this? No. Oh, okay, I got it. All right, here we go. All right. Now, before I get into this, I also want to be very honest and open with you. I think I've been one of the biggest platforms that's covered this whole Diddy thing. And it's not at no cost, right? I personally believe the timing of, remember they're like, oh, I got a case. There's a lawyer in the Diddy case that's representing like 7 clients that the day I criticized saying, yo, these cases kind of sound a little bit like there's mad errors and shit. Homie hits me up, files a lawsuit on me, right? Saying, oh, I represent this. Okay. There's this other lawyer. And I have no contact with her, so I don't want to put myself in the same position again. So it puts me in a pickle, right? Should I do my job, or should I just ignore this? Because like we all know these are grabs, right? And I actually want to invite this lady on I don't know if she hates me or whatever, but there's a woman named Ariel Mitchell. We're gonna get into her in a little bit. She got dropped from her last client. Her last client called her a cloud chaser. She's a lawyer. Her client is calling her a cloud chaser. That's kind of crazy. I would like to invite her on here. She's done Piers Morgan. She's done several outlets. And I'd rather have a civil conversation about some of these claims and even her position and represent some of these people. And because following these lawsuits, you're supposed to have to do some due diligence, right? Like you got to confirm when a client comes to tell you, hey, listen, this person, because I could go to you and say, yo, it's a responsibility of someone that is a accredited member of the Bar Association to do their due diligence to make sure that what a client's telling you ain't just cap. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to Diddy got a lot of money. So are people, like, are you incentivized to really, like, weed out and do your homework on what people are saying about that person? Get what I'm saying? Here's the thing, too. The more salacious it is, the more headlines it makes. When the victim got R-worded with a remote control, they put a knife to her neck. They almost stabbed Diddy. A shot gets fired. Tupac. That's how you make headlines, baby. Right? But is that factual? So I'm pretty sure, and I don't want to slander her at all. Or not necessarily slander. I don't even want to criticize because it wouldn't be necessarily slander if I'm giving my opinion about what I've seen with her. But I do want to, I've seen her do a few other platforms. I'm going to show you some of the interviews she's done. I do want to speak to this woman. Her name is Ariel Mitchell. I would love to have her on Twitch or some type of, Zoom, and we could speak on stream, because this goddamn lawsuit just seems like craziness. And by the way, it's been on both sides. So like I've realized how much the lawyers care about the media, because again, I had one lawyer that would represent the victims hit me up, and then whatever, and then I've had Diddy's private investigators hit me up. So this isn't. You're in media, but you get to realize that both sides are kind of playing to have the best outlook on whatever they're claiming happened or didn't happen, which my job is just to give y'all the news and entertain y'all. But then you realize that these two sides want to control you, which is very important, right? Because if you're the conduit and you're the media, they want you to, like, I'm pretty sure Diddy's, private investigators want me to get on here and be like, yo, all these hoes is lying. And I'm pretty sure the attorney for these alleged victims want me to get on here and be like, no, Diddy's a monster. Whatever we see is all fucking true. Right? And that's the nuanced part of me saying, I think my credibility with y'all is that, have I been biased for maybe one thing or another? Some of y'all think I was biased in the Drake and Kendrick thing. Cool. Y'all know I like Drake music more than Kendrick. But I think most of all, y'all kind of look at me as, yo, he's a logical guy, smart guy. I don't know if you think I'm smart, but like, yo, if he sees 2 + 2, he's gonna come up with 4. He's just not gonna lie to us and say it's 1, right? Or say it's like 22. He's gonna be very logical, and he has at least some type of base on what regular humans would do, so he could make up at least an opinion to say, that doesn't seem right, or actually, that seems exactly how some shit like that would go down, right? So I have to say that because when I pull this up, and I'm gonna tell you where we're gonna get to, and I'm telling you, I'm predicting the future. Part of what Diddy is going to do, and this is what Diddy's team of attorneys, right now, UMG team of attorneys are doing this. There's 3 people they're gonna wage war on. And it's the 3 attorneys that are just, like, some people would say ambulance chasing, because they have multiple clients suing one guy. So they're going to attack the 3 lawyers, because if you attack the lawyers, the cases look flimsy and then maybe fall apart, right? Because if the representation seem like they've been capping or they've been doing the most, the person who they're representing looks a little bit weak because you're getting represented by whatever. The 3 people is Tyrone Blackburn. That's the guy who represents Lil Rod, Liza Gardner, and a few other people. We'll get to him in a second. Tony Busby, because he's coming with allegedly 120 lawsuits. Like, come on, bro. Like, some of these lawsuits just seem crazy. There's 4 niggas and 2 women. At least the first 6 that was filed. And from what I've heard, Ariel Mitchell is in that list as well. From what I've heard. Now, why only those 3 versus other people? It's a couple of things. And I'm trying to explain to y'all. Tyrone Blackburn is, I don't think he's been doing law for over 10 years. What lawyers usually do, they go to law school, they pass the bar, they work for some firms, they keep getting better jobs as they try to, whatever, and they eventually make something called partner, right? Or sometimes they go on to become part of the DA's office, and then later they create their own firm, right? Or they then do a partner thing, right? These are, by and large, lawyers that are just kind of like, for example, Ariel Mitchell, law office of Ariel Mitchell. Very different than the lawyer for Cassie. Cassie's lawyer, I think, is Wigner. Am I tripping? Cassie Ventura. Cassandra Ventura lawyer. Where is that? Yeah, it's Wigner. I could just look it up. Wigdor LLP. Now, this is a huge law firm, right? This is a huge law firm, and I'm not here to promote one lawyer or talk down on lawyers versus another. But this law firm is like a huge entity. Now, here's the thing that happens in civil court. You don't think everyone wants to, if they got $30 million for Diddy, no, not for Diddy, for Cassie, allegedly, in a day, you don't think every victim of Diddy wants them? But here's the thing. When you have, when you're that big of a law firm, what you can't get involved in is just filing any lawsuit. Because eventually, the court process is going to start sanctioning you, and they're going to start targeting you because you're just doing shit to get money and you're harassing someone. So what you've noticed is that the most colorful stories are coming from a few lawyers that are kind of just like, they're not working for a big ass firm. They're just kind of in their bedroom typing it up. It's all good. Well, respectfully, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, but if you get what I mean, right? Which means they're taking that risk of possibly, like, for example, we're gonna get to Mr. Tyrone Blackburn, but he's being referred to a grievance committee to be sanctioned because he threw Lucian Grange and UMG in a suit with Diddy, and you're not gonna fuck around with the entire music industry. like you fuck with Diddy, you can't fuck with them. So I'm gonna explain that in a second. All right. I only say that because Ariel, I think, is barking up that list. This is her second client that she's targeting Diddy with. Right? The first client, and before we read this lawsuit, and Miss Ariel Mitchell, I know you'll probably see this. I am giving you an invitation to come on here. I would love to speak to you. So she actually, by the way, she didn't get kicked off the case. She actually asked to leave, and then the person gave like a statement about her. Actually, let me see. Okay. Yeah. So the show. Oh shit. Fuck. Give me 1 second. Stay with me on this, chat. Like this is a little bit, y'all know we ghetto lawyers over here. We can't file lawsuits, but I think we have a good reading comprehension and we know how to kind of break stuff down. Okay, we're literate. So this woman, this lawsuit we about to read, she just asked the judge to drop her from that case, because once you enter as representation, even if you have an issue with non-payment, you can't just say, I'm done being your lawyer, I'm out. Because everybody is entitled to having a lawyer, you have to ask the judge to relieve you from your duty of representing the client. It's the same thing with like YSL Woody when he was trying to fire his lawyer, but if he didn't have a different representation, like the judge has to approve. Okay, anyway, cool. So this lawyer just left this other case, and what happened is that, or not left, filed documents that the judge could allow her to not be the person's lawyer no more. Her reasons was that, I'm telling her things to do, and like we're not working good together, right? Just basically saying that she has unreasonable requests. She wants me to do this, which is against what I think should be done. And her client fired back. In a statement to USA Today on Saturday, Adria English discussed her former attorney, Ariel Mitchell Kidd, and Stephen A. Metcalf, right? Which, by the way, okay, this is a different one up here. Okay, cool. Request to withdraw as legal counsel in a court filing, claiming that Mitchell Kidd is trying to paint me as non-credible. I am happy with my decision to withdraw, English said. Adding to her ex-attorney's withdrawal from the case, it made it easier for her to secure new professional. Okay, never mind. I'm happy with the decision to withdraw. So that's what the client is saying. So I'm happy with the decision that my lawyer, Ariel Mitchell, wants to leave. Basically saying it's going to make it easier for me to secure professional, non-clout chasing counsel. This is crazy. You have the victims calling the lawyers clout chaser? This is crazy. She added that she has until blah, blah, blah. Da, da, da. Okay. So essentially, the last client said that this lawyer was clout chasing. Ironic and interesting. Cool. Now, this is a lawsuit that we just like read summarized through TMZ, but we have the full thing here. Okay, let's get to some of the. Let's get to this crazy story. Like, this story is, wow. They have 15 causes of action. Actually, 16. Jesus Christ, 17. All right. All right. Let me get to the. This should be a narrative. Okay. All right, that's the first. Okay, here we go. Good. Perfect. Here we go. This is supposed to be what's called the factual allegations portion. Okay. Jesus Christ, this is a lot. So apparently Diddy is the only person named. Actually, Shane. This is why he's named Shane too. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So we were at the part where they're in the backyard with the gunshot going off. Oh my God. Look at this chat. When the defendant finished R-wording, when the defendant R-wording the plaintiff, KK entered the room to examine the condition of the plaintiff, who was barely able to move or control her bodily function. Defendant KK examined the plaintiff to see if, you can't see it, see if she needed assistance, and was about to give the plaintiff an IV fluid. See, that's the only part about these allegations. We know Diddy uses IV fluids, but it just seems it seems too scripted, right? Like, all right, grab the IV, grab the baby oil, grab the IV. Like, come on, right? Plaintiff cannot be certain. See, we have a typo here. Cannot be certain if she did or did not receive such intravenous intervention. Defendant KK opened a different bag, different than the one that defendant Diddy removed the oil from. Where the plaintiff, see, it said oil. Did they say baby oil? Let me see. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Removed the bottle of liquid. Defendant squirted a bottle of liquid, which placed her blah 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 blah. It was being like she was a chemical substance like an acid. She realized that it was a oil, a lubricant, and this was squirted all over her naked body. Then they tried to insert what was a syringe that looked like it was from a sterile package into her vagina. Diddy, upset by this, took the syringe and tried to put it what in her vagina himself. It was an IUD. He then used a television remote. She started crying. He told another guy to put her on her stomach, and then he fucked her. And then another guy fucked her, and Diddy fucked her. Okay. Instead of immediately they doused her with some more oil and lubricant and jumped on top of her, treating it like a slip and slide. Oh my God. They said instead of immediately R-wording her, they put more lube on her or baby oil, jumped on her, and used her as a slip and slide. Like, what the fuck? Knocking the wind out of the plaintiff due to his enormous size. He then caught himself from sliding over the oil body off the bed. Then he began R-wording the plaintiff vaginally. While Doe 1 was R-wording her, Diddy sat in a chair near the bed and began masturbating while recording. See, it's like again, we know that this MO, like, yeah, Diddy did some or allegedly did some of this stuff, but they have everything in there, the baby oil, the recording, he's masturbating over there. He has, who know if these defendants are sex workers. It sounds like they're just trying to repeat what Cassie said, but add on to it with some of the other stuff. Because Diddy never, did Cassie ever mention baby oil or lubricant like that? No, right? But it's now in the news because of the search. So you throw that in there. Then you throw, all these other things. Okay, cool. Another party's phone fell on the bed near the plaintiff. The plaintiff attempted to grab the phone, but it slipped out of her hands and onto the floor due to the oil and lubricant that had been doused all over her person by defendants Diddy and Doe 1. Throughout this violent gangbang style R-word, Diddy made constant belittling remarks to the plaintiff, including that he owned her now. Her body was becoming more and more limp over the course of the violent R-word till she eventually had no control of her body or could move her body. When they were finished R-wording her, KK into the room, examined her, was about to give her an IV. The plaintiff was certain that she did not receive, so she didn't get the IV. She then opened a different bag, different than the one that Diddy removed the baby oil from, where the plaintiff observed several medicine bottles, IV bag fluids, and other unidentified powder-like drugs. Defendant KK removed a pill from one of the medicine bottles and gave it to defendant Diddy. Diddy inserted the pill into the plaintiff's mouth and down her throat to where the plaintiff had no choice but to ingest the unknown pill. Diddy, these other people, then exited the residence to the backyard where they smoked marijuana and cigarettes. The plaintiff remained in almost lifeless state in defendant Shane's bedroom until she finally, so cool. He grabbed a knife, went to the backyard, concealed the knife. Upon exiting plaintiff was met by Doe, who was standing by that time. And then Diddy was still smoking. They didn't see the knife, whatever. They sat down on a makeshift seat in the backyard when Diddy noticed her presence and remarked that he was surprised she was able to walk because he had given her enough drugs to take out a horse. By the way, chat, we heard rumors of ketamine. So, like this is what I'm saying. Like, the lawsuit is like, it's playing off every little rumor, right? Ketamine, like, what is it used for? I think it's used for horses. Like, it's like a horse tranquilizer, right? Horse, right? Like, is ketamine a horse tranquilizer? Right? Yeah, like, apparently people have said it's used for horses. And of course, Diddy says, hey, I gave you enough to take out a horse. Essentially hinting that he gave her ketamine, right? He asked Diddy what he had given her, and he laughed and did not provide a response. he made more further comments to her in a jovial, friendly manner, asking why they ain't partied together because it was so much fun. See, this is from like the Fab interview, right? Yo, why we ain't party together, huh? Like, bro, this is reading like every rumor we've ever seen, and that I don't know how it makes y'all think, but it's like every line I'm like, oh, that's from the Fab interview with Drink Champs. Yo, bro, why we ain't party? Why we ain't party, Fab? Right? It's from here. Right?
Bag at? Mr. Lee.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my
with you. I
bag
like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
It's
when you
right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping for
here.
shit.
No, I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. You know, I've been practicing. I got
Yeah.
notes. Mr. Lee.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my
with you. I
bag
like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
It's
when you
right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping
here.
when you
It's
when you
right here, it's
scrambling
right
and
here.
scraping for
No.
shit. No?
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go with that one.
Make a
That
wish.
one.
Just blow it out. It's your
No.
birthday every day.
Every day's your birthday on Drink
Okay.
Champs, goddammit. I'm in.
Where I look
Did you
back
miss
on
me?
where I became. and
Did you miss me though? For real? Because I'm
I
saying
miss-
it seems like a thing
I
with
miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party.
Puff, man. I
Man,
miss
but I'm
partying
talking about
with
for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party. And,
No, but me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying? Eyes. Eyes, brother.
Oh, man.
Eyes. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So check this out. It's me, Tyrese, personality. So Tyrese kept on talking, bringing God into this.
Okay. All right. So he asked her why they ain't party together before, because it was so much fun, and he ain't had any ass that tight in a while. One of the other defendants quipped at Diddy, saying that he probably ain't had that ass tight in a while because he's not used to having anal sex with women. Insinuating that Diddy fucks men, and the men he's fucking are homosexual, whose asshole is a pussy. So like, those assholes ain't as tight as a woman who probably doesn't have anal sex. Oh my God. Plaintiff tells Diddy she didn't party with him and she did not enjoy partying with him and that he R-worded her. Diddy did not like what the plaintiff said. And his response to, what? Oh, he didn't like her response to his lighthearted comment and offered her money and instructed her to say that the R word was consensual and that the plaintiff was a sex worker. Huh? She became enraged and yelled at him that the R word was not consensual. She was not a sex worker, and she refused to take any money from him and would tell the police that he had R-worded her. Diddy then told the plaintiff no one would believe that she had been R-worded by him, and if she'd tell anyone as such, they would harm her family. Another defendant then showed the plaintiff his phone. Yo, check this out. And it showed the outside of the plaintiff's estranged sister's residence. And he could see her sister sitting on the couch and her sister's spouse on the balcony. It looked as if someone outside the residence was streaming this video to his phone. That's some movie shit, bro. Plaintiff was then rattled by what they saw, was still angry about the gang R word, and was not complying with Diddy's request to take money, being offered to say the R word was consensual. Defendant Diddy then called his mother in an effort to further convince plaintiff not to report assault. Defendant Diddy's mom yelled at the plaintiff to not hurt her. Okay, we got that already. Diddy then made further threats that he had gotten off bigger crimes, then referred to Tupac, further antagonizing the plaintiff. Another defendant turned to Diddy and pulled his gun and said to repeat what he said about Pac. As the two men were exchanging words, Plaintiff went behind the defendant, where he seemingly began protecting the plaintiff. What? Oh. Then the defendant then advanced to Diddy, questioning him over the comments about Pac. During this commotion, a neighbor directly across the street came outside, peered into the backyard, asked what all the commotion was about. Defendant Doe 1 then pointed a gun at the neighbor and instructed him to mind his business and return to his residence. There got to be some type of police report from this, right? What? You're pointing guns at people, all type of shit, what? And then allegedly a gunshot goes off later. Defendant Doe 1 then turned the gun back on Diddy, not far behind Defendant Doe 1, tried to grab Diddy's hand that the gun, the plaintiff, not far. So the plaintiff tried to grab his hand, not the one that had the gun, and the gun went off, and it hit a hill behind the defendant's residence. The defendant, Diddy, ran back up the stairs near the hill towards where KK, Shane, and Jane Doe were, and the plaintiff charged towards Diddy, moving a concealed knife from her left hand to her right in pursuit of Diddy. Plaintiff pushed Diddy from behind while he was on the stone stairs outside, caused him to fall with his back to the plaintiff. Plaintiff raised the knife, and in a rage from the events that just transpired, with intent of driving the knife in Diddy's back, when he turned around, no, please don't do it, don't please. Diddy start begging for his life. No, this is like a movie. Plaintiff shocked to see how, you know this is a movie, because only in the movie, yo chat, this only happens in movies. You know when you finally catch the person, like only the bad guys give the good guys a whole 20-minute speech before they pull the trigger. Like they finally got him. I just want to let you know why I'm going to kill you. Remember one, blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And they talk to you for like 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden, the person just like, do some shit and kill them. I'm like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. I'm like, he gave you a 5-minute speech, 5 minutes to think how to get out of this fucking situation, and you just, and killed them, right? Chat, that only happens in movies, gang. Like, nobody's like, she says, you just got R-word, and you got the knife there, and all of a sudden, you're like, listen to him. Oh, no. Okay, whatever. Shocked to see Diddy acting like a victim, had a moment of clarity and turned and ran down the steps into the backyard to escape. Diddy then chased the plaintiff down the stairs, attempted to push her, but she was already at the bottom of the stairs and gained her footing and wielded the knife at Diddy, grazing his abdomen. So supposedly she's saying she cut Diddy. Hearing the commotion, KK and Jane Doe emerged, and KK then began to administer first aid to Diddy for the injuries caused by the plaintiff. Plaintiff then tried to make a quick dash for the exit, but was thwarted by Doe 1. After a period of time, plaintiff was able to abscond from defendant Doe 1 due to first aid commotion with Diddy, and was able to run down the street. Once they made it to the street, she began yelling loudly for someone to call the police. Doe 1, who had called up with the plaintiff, advised the plaintiff he was an undercover cop. Oh my God, even better story. To this day, the plaintiff is unsure if the truth or the falsity of that statement. The same neighbor then again emerged from his residence asking what was transpiring. Just as the plaintiff was attempting to answer, gunshots began being fired in the plaintiff's direction. Plaintiff fled to a car where the neighbor was also taking cover, lost sight of Doe 1. Plaintiff heard an SUV screeching, speeding, leaving the residence. Plaintiff then entered the home of the neighbor, who informed her he had already called the police. Plaintiff informed the neighbor that it was Sean Combs who R-worded and shot at them, but the neighbor who was unaware who Diddy was. Okay, cool. So they called the cops. All right, that's good. Shortly after, sheriff from the Contra Costa, what's that? All right, I won't even Google it. Contra Costa Sheriff Department arrived at the neighbor's home. Plaintiff told the sheriff that she had been violently gang R-worded by Diddy and others, and she didn't have her clothes, purse, phone, car keys, and cell phone. The sheriff told the plaintiff and the neighbor that they received several noise complaints prior to the neighbor's call and instructed the plaintiff to find a way to get home. What? There was gunshots fired. You don't have nothing, like, I guess she's like barely clothed, and you tell the cops that you got R-worded, and the cop says, oh, I'll find a way to get home. What? The sheriff did not offer to take the plaintiff home, nor did he call emergency service. Nor did he offer to take the plaintiff to a hospital or offer to help the plaintiff to recover her clothes or effects from the defendant's Shane's residence. Okay, he got to have taken a statement. By the way, this is so crazy. You're telling me, I don't care. By the way, this was from 2018, supposedly, right? This is 2018. So you're telling me in 2018, that was the height. 2018 is the height of the first Me Too wave in music. And you're telling me police, which even if the neighbor didn't know Diddy, police know Diddy. Police, you are unclothed, gunshots are being fired, tires screeching, all type of shit. You're at a neighbor's house. They got mad calls about some commotion going on, and you tell the cops, I got R-worded by Diddy, and they said, find a way to get home. I guess. The neighbor offered to let the plaintiff sleep on his couch. The neighbor doesn't take the plaintiff immediately to the hospital himself. He tells you to sleep off the R word? Is it only me? Chat, is it only me? I'm trying to use some comments, but is it only me thinking, huh? Let me go look in the chat, man. I might be tweaking, chat. I must be tweaking. Go sleep it off. You can sleep on my couch. That's another thing. Well, we don't know if the plaintiff's a man or a woman. Like, if somebody came to my house and they said they just got all worried about somebody else, hell no, you're not staying at my house. Because I don't know if you hide something. I want you to wake up and say, I was involved too. You got to go. You're going to the hospital. I'll be the good guy, drive your ass to the hospital, but you go to the hospital now. The neighbor offered to let and until she could figure out a way to get her possessions and get home. But the plaintiff declined and only remained at the neighbor's residence for a short period of time once the sheriff left. So the sheriff just left after you said you got R-worded and there was a gunshot fired, and there's like so many different felonies here. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, maybe possibly an attempted murder charge. A 3-count first-degree R-word charge? What the hell? Plaintiff went back to the defendant Shane's residence. Oh, she goes back there. Okay. Go back? Okay. Where she found the door open. She just went back in. It's like watching Saw, chat, and you finally get out of the Saw thing. You're like, oh, fuck. Forgot my lucky pair of shoes. And you see that you could get back into the room, and you go, okay, I don't know. Defendant Shane emerged as if nothing had happened and offered for the plaintiff to stay at his residence while she slept it off. Plaintiff asked for a purse and keys, but Shane told her she couldn't leave in her condition. And plaintiff, catatonic and in the state of shock, disbelief of what happened, she wouldn't stay at the neighbor's house, who she supposedly ran for help because she was getting R-worded by the 3 men over there. But she went back to the house with the 3 men and stayed there. Later that morning, Shane returned to the residence, woke her up, gave her back her purse, keys, cell phone. Plaintiff left the residence. In a daze, plaintiff returned home, tried to make sense of what happened to her. On March 26, I don't know how many days that is, she contacted her primary care, asked for HIV and STD testing in fear she may have contracted a disease from the violent R word. She continued her life and she felt she wouldn't be believed. And she already had told She continued her life as she felt she wouldn't have been believed, as she told the sheriff that Diddy R-worded her to no avail. Further, the plaintiff was under the impression if she did continue to say Diddy's name in relation to her assault, she would not be believed and her family would be in danger. Seemingly mere days, maybe a day after the plaintiff's vicious R-word, defendant Shayna miraculously began driving a new car. She believes this was payment by Diddy for setting up the plaintiff to get R-worded. A few weeks later in April, she was still in pain and reeling from the horrific assault, went to the hospital as her injuries had not subsided from the assault. Hospital conducted several tests, including the R-word kit, ultrasounds, and x-ray. Additionally, she was given an IV fluid to stabilize her vitals as she was in a severe blah, blah, blah. While at the hospital, a plaintiff told members of her treatment team about her horrific assault. Then they contacted the Walnut Creek police. They showed up to the hospital room, took a statement. Okay, so this is... Yeah, so she went weeks later. Plaintiff declined to refer to the defendant. Wait, what? Plaintiff already told Contra Costa sheriffs about her R word and that it was defendant Diddy who orchestrated it on March 23rd, which was ignored. So the plaintiff declined to refer to Diddy again to the police because she believed she would be ignored, as she was just by those last cops, and or would be further harmed by Diddy, as if he discovered she named it to the police. She told Walnut Creek police about the assault, but left out Diddy's names. Huh? Plaintiff believed her statements made to the police while at the hospital was captured by police body cam footage. Okay, but she never mentions Diddy. Okay. She believes that her statements made to immediately after the vicious assault where the plaintiff named Diddy directly by name. Okay, so she's saying that hopefully body cam from that sheriff, the sheriff that came through on the March 23rd could have her naming Diddy. Okay. She filed a report to another police department on the 17th of 28, but was also too afraid to name Diddy. During this report, she provided her clothing to the police from that night, but they only retained her underwear. To that date, the underwear was never returned, and the plaintiff believed no investigation ever commenced. Plaintiff sought assistance from therapists from blah, blah, to have her therapy appointments covered by Victim Compensation Fund, which was rejected because the plaintiff was told no law enforcement agency had an open, active investigation into any of her many reports of her violent gang R-word. Subsequently thereafter, plaintiff asked for police with a copy of her report, and the plaintiff was provided a letter from the police department stated that it was unable to furnish this information as it is confidential and not subject to public release. Wait, what the fuck? She couldn't get a copy from her own police report? Okay, well that we're gonna have to find out. Maybe Diddy is that powerful to be like, yo, they filed a police report, they can't get access. Okay, that's crazy. Despite plaintiff not being public and the victim, despite plaintiff not being the public and the victim, well, I don't know what that means. In March 2024, she was re-traumatized by all the events of Diddy getting sued. They called the sheriff's department again in hopes of renewing her previous complaint, amending it to ensure Diddy's name was included. They received no response from the sheriff. In July, they emailed the chief of staff office regarding her complaint, lack of investigation and how she was treated by the initial officer. She later received a call back from a detective, but nothing further. Plaintiff began seeking legal counsel for her claims, ultimately referred to it undersigned for representation. They also tried to get a copy of the 2018 police report, but was told that they could not provide the report or any other information without a subpoena. Huh. That's interesting. Shit reads like a movie, though. I'm not gonna lie. Is she lying? I think we're all smart here, but, you know, these are allegations. I don't understand why the allegations read so rich in the theatrics. It just seems like a play. It seems like a movie. But who knows? A lot of crazier things has happened, right? Now, give me 1 second. Now, give me 1 second. Now, in an update on the Little Rod case, UMG actually sanctioned or filed a motion to sanction attorney for Little Rod, Tyrone Blackburn, basically saying this guy's abusing the legal process by not doing enough research, including defendants that should not be included, and just have blatant, factually incorrect evidence in there. And it's not a oversight. It's more of a deliberate way of trying to, gain attention by just throwing people's name in there, even incorrectly. So there was an oral argument. Like, the judge is about to rule on this soon, but there was an oral argument on it. It says, at a sanctions hearing this morning, Tyrone Blackburn, the New York City attorney behind a recent swath of lurid triggering warden labeled lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs, told UMG Motown not to spike the football too soon, with superseding RICO indictments expected to drop soon. We also get some information as well. Here's the thing. It says, Blackburn repeatedly mentioned that he had turned over photos and other evidence to the U.S. Attorney Office, and that he was about to meet with New York federal prosecutors for a 10th time. Okay, so it's clear. Well, obviously, he's saying all this under the threat of perjury. So, you're hoping he's telling the truth. Apparently, the feds are talking to Little Rod's attorney, trying to add Little Rod as a victim. And apparently, they've talked to this guy 10 times. They're about to meet with New York federal prosecutors for the 10th time, saying that his client had already drawn out his Mr. Combs' room and showed investigators where to go. Wow, that's kind of interesting. So that's some update, So we definitely see that that lawyer, or actually the feds, are trying to actively get more people on that list. Anyway, if you're wondering, I'll give me 1 second.